Okay, you're never gonna guess what I found. But I found that on the complete left-hand side, not including time. And I'll show you the derivation in hopefully 7 minutes. So, when you look at this, okay, you're gonna have a 1 by 8 and a 1 by 7. Now, a 1 by 8 and a 1 by 7 is pretty important to Kevin because you have a 69 here, and the 69 is a 15, okay? So you have a 15 up here, you have a 2 up here, okay? And then you have a 1 by 8. So if you sum the 1 by 8, you're actually gonna get, the M is actually just a 13 plus a 26 because it's capital, and a D is actually a 4 plus a 26 because it's capital, okay? So when you sum up the 1 by 8, you're gonna get 8,150. When you sum up the 1 by 7, you're gonna get 1,740, okay? When you look at this, what you're gonna get now is we're gonna add 110, okay? Because you're making 110s, okay? So we're gonna make a 1, 1 with a 0 around it, okay? For those two columns, we're gonna make 110 out of the last two columns. 1, 1, 0, okay? It sums exactly to 10,000. Now 10,000, if we look at it backwards, Lamb, because I think a 1's a 0 and a 0 is a 1, this is actually written 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, okay? I looked that up in binary, it's the decimal 23rd character guy. Hexadecimal 17 and 6 bits, okay? You see you're using two 1 by 9s to make an 11, you know, your 911, okay? But this is where it gets interesting, okay? Because you know my cellular math crap? Okay, so like, what if this 0 is actually a 1, okay? It's circled 1, but in reality, there's a line and a circle, okay, in a galaxy, which is just unification between 0 and 1, which is 9. And 9 is just duality. It's understanding balance of duality, which is a 2. So if you messed with this side, okay, let's say the comma is your dot and your circle. So when we're in the thousands plane, we can do cellular math. So I think this is going to be 52, a 1, and an 8, okay? Or other way, 1, 52, 8. Or, because the 1's a 0 in Kevin land, and we've already made that point, let's make this our 0. Now if we read this number, we're going to get 5280, which is going from your starting point, 5280, which is how many feet are in a mile. Okay, if we do the same thing over here with 1740, you're going to get 1742, because 0 will be a 2. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing, start at the 1, you're going to flip it and everything, and you're going to get 7,420. Okay? Interesting. Now, what if we take these numbers? Okay? And you add them together, you're going to get 12,700. Okay? Now, we're going to look at the 15 and the 2. Okay? We didn't add them in the previous one because the 15 wasn't being added the same way and the 2 wasn't being added. This is being used as a 0. That's a 0. My God, it's hard to talk in negative land all the time. Okay, which is equivalent to an actual 0 if you read it backwards. So I think that's a 50. There's your 2. If you have 52, you're gonna get 12,752. Read it backwards, you get 25,721. Okay. Now this is my total for the 7th dimension and 8th dimension columns. Okay. So this is a weird, strange, funky math for this guy and this guy completed with 110 and electricity in mind. Okay? So then what I did was I proceeded to go to the next two columns, okay? This one and this one, okay? I've already done these two. I like to note that the K, the most balanced K I can think of, this is one that's 2 away from here and 2 away from here. It's not going to be the one that starts here and ends here, and it's not going to be the one that starts here and ends here. It's going to be the balanced K, okay? So K is the 11th letter, okay? It goes over an 11, which is interesting. This is also interesting. A C and a D is your 100 and your 500, but C is the 3rd letter and D is the 4th letter, okay? So 3 and 4 is 7, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 circles, 11. Anyway. In these two columns, you used the entire column to make the 110. In the next column, the 110 has to be before the stairway to heaven, okay? Now check it out. Like there's 1, 1, 0. There's your 110. So this is going to be your 110. And this is going to be your 522. And we're not going to include the C because the C is part of the K. And the K is a big part of this column that we haven't done yet. So we're going to stop there. Okay? And then we're going to sum. So we're going to sum the things that aren't part of the K. And then we're going to have the K. And then we're going to have this. We're going to have, what is this going to count for? This is going to count for a +1. Okay? So this is important, this is important, this is important, and this is important. What happens when you take 25, 721, 522, 696, 110, 110, and 1? It gets better. We've accounted for the last 4 columns in their entirety to give us this. What are the units? Okay, so we have 4 quadrants or 4 circuits, meaning 4 110s that we found. Okay, we found that was one of them, that was one of them, and then that was one of them, and there's another one. 3, 3. Well, I guess you're 1, 0. So this is your, that's your 4 for your wavelength of light, visual light spectrum. But basically, what we've calculated is basically 5th dimension love, 6th dimension ego, 7th dimension nothing, 8th dimension infinite. 5 and 6 is 11, 7 and 8 is 15. That's a 26. And a D and a D and a D and a D is a 4D. 4D is time, so now we have time, love, ego, nothing, infinite. See how it's folding into time? So, here's the thing about time, okay? So 26 can also be a 33 if you count for all the +1s. Okay, so 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Okay, which is your CC, okay? Which makes a K, okay? Why do I have that? It's a CC. Oh, I remember. Because, yeah, I remember why I wrote that. I have to explain things better. Because you have a C here. Okay? So your CC makes your K. That's why I wrote that. Sorry for that. Anyway, so what I think is you have a K here, okay? And now we over here, okay, if you have 4 plus 4 plus 26, that's your 34, okay? Your 34 plus your 26 now equals 60. Now what is that, seconds or minutes? Let's say it's minutes. Okay, so that's 1 hour, okay? Would this not be kilowatt hour? Kilo watts, because it's voltage and current, hour. Now I did the conversion from kilowatt hour to joules, and I get this number. That's 97.776 gigajoules. So that's a 7J. That's a 711. 76 at the end, a 7, a 97. 97 just need 3 more to be 100 complete, and I think this can derive to that. But this gets even better and crazy. Now, get ready for this. J. If I say that this is just the first letter of the alphabet, that's a lowercase a. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 ones, that's a 14, or an N. If this is just a 69, which is the 15th letter of the alphabet, which is an O, and if we add up 9, 7, 7, yeah, see? 9 plus 7 plus 7 plus 6 equals plus 7 equals 36. And 36 minus 26 is equal to 10, which is a J. Okay? Now, we forgot to +1 the whole thing now. So I think the +1 for the circle is going to add to this part. So 36 plus 1 is 37. which is capital K. So I think you're going to have the capital K, lowercase o, lowercase n, lowercase a, uppercase j. That's pretty messed up. Let's take it one step further in the messed upness. Let's look at this number. Now, if this is just a 1 and a 1, that's just an 11 or a lowercase k. And if the 16, okay, is just a 1 beside a circled 5, well, that circled 5 can dot next to the... It's going to want to dot next to the lower dimension, so it's going to make a V now and leave you with a 5. So maybe that's an EV, with a big capital V. And then your comma here, because this is important, because we haven't done cellular math of this number, would be like an I. And then 2 times 7, or 7 times 2, is 14, which is your N, letter N. So would this not be lowercase k, everything lowercase except the capital V? And would that not? So anyway, I might be absolutely batshit crazy, but I found this number derived from a form of mathematics, of knowledge of 110. And this Roman numeral C, or whatever, K, letter, yeah, Roman letter K, Roman letter C, and... Guy, I found my name, and I found Darth Vader yesterday, and I'm still not recovered from finding Darth Vader, and it seems pretty good. Like, how, like, that seems 27,160 kilowatt hour. Alright, so, Great Scott! Yeah, I found the Back to the Future reference, in case you think I'm actually a madman. Well, 97.776 gigajoules is this number right here. Now, if you add all the zeros together, all the ones together, it makes a 1. And then you have a 9 and a 6, which is like a point. And then you have 3 sevens, which is your 777. Go gamble, which is your 21, which is 1.21 gigajoules, but, you know, it's derived from a number that gave us kilowatt hours, which comes from... So, like, Great Scott, guy.